All right, folks, welcome back. All right, it's Monday, new week, carnage in the stock market. Who would have ever guessed? All right, so we're looking at the dollar index daily chart. Had a little bit of movement here on the upside today. I was hoping it would expand, especially with all the sell-off in the equities market, but it was limited to this short little run in here. Still aiming for this one, but if we take out this short-term low, that to me is problematic, and we may actually see something entirely different. Let me run down below this low. I'm staying with the bullish narrative until proven incorrect. All right, the hourly chart. Okay, we're looking at the dollar index. You can see we had ran above these relative equal highs. We ran for that. I like the idea of it still getting above here. And again, I was watching intraday waiting for that to happen, but we have low resistance liquidity run signatures here. We'll see what we get. The only problem is that we have basically that island reversal right here. And every single time I use this particular laptop, it makes the disappearing act on my cursor. I'm not sure why that does that, but I got to constantly keep it moving, otherwise I lose it. All right, so hourly, still looking for higher prices on dollar. Small little run up in here. And I want you to think about that model I taught on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple things in this teaching today. We have the swing high, ran for buy side liquidity. We have a short-term swing low right here. See that? Price breaks down. So we have an intraday shift in market structure. The fair value gap. We trade up into it, fill it. Now, high, low, 50% in here. There's your fair value gap order block. Where's it going to go from here? There. Boom. Right off of what I taught on YouTube. They have no idea what information I just laid already. Completely went over most of their heads, but, you know, like I said, I'm not going to be able to reach everyone, even though they'll all watch the same videos. But I'm also getting a lot of feedback, and I'm having way more emails than I thought, even though I told them, just like I tell you all, please don't email me, okay? I have an order of listed content and topics I'm going to cover, and I don't want to deviate from that. So it's a matter of submission to a lot of time. I understand that most of these individuals are not going to do that. All right, euro dollar daily chart. This thing is stuck. Like, I'm still bearish on it, but it's stuck. Like, this is a weird pattern, isn't it? Awfully strange. It makes me feel like they're waiting for something to break out war-wise. And with Ukraine and Russia and all that business, that might be an underlying, issue. I mentioned that we got war coming, and the whole narrative with the COVID crap and mandates and such, a lot of countries are just abandoning them. So, to me, it just feels like they have the perfect excuse to now drop the war bomb. Okay, and like I said, I'm not to be fear porn or try to scare anybody or whip anybody up into a frenzy. I just see bombs literally being dropped in the mainland U.S. I see it happening. It's for whatever reason, the American civilians seem to believe there's a magic force field like that could never happen here. And if that happened, you guys, that's real fear. Like, that's something I am genuinely concerned about. But, I can't stop it. But I think that the way the euro is being held in consolidation like that, I think it's just waiting for the next war drum to beat. Euro dollar hourly chart. Didn't quite get down to the relative equal lows that now that I look, I didn't give enough room for it to show, but we'll just use this low here. Didn't get quite below that yet, but I still think that it's likely to happen, and we'll see what we get in regards to that. But lower prices on euro. And the 15-minute time frame on euro, relative equal lows, broke down, hit that, rallied, short term, swing low, right in here. Broke it. Did it create a fair value gap? Yes. Drops down, fills it, rallies. Just didn't quite get above the rejection block. That would have been the minimum expectation for me. but that's counter trend too. Okay, so pound dollar daily chart. All right, so we have all this area here we worked off of, trading lower. I mentioned the order blocks. We went into them. And if we get the higher price on dollar, this area right down in here with the order block, that would be the next draw on liquidity for me. Hourly chart, really heavy. I mean, this is like ridiculously heavy. Small little fair value gap in here. Yeah, right there, sells off. Just an amazing sell off. That's actually really nice. That's over 100 pips. It's beautiful. Again, and I apologize. I know some of you in the forum are saying, like, why doesn't ICT want to be touching the British pound? I just don't trust my perspective on it. I don't have a clear indication where it wants to go. That's just the bottom line. So I'm teaching by doing, and many times the not doing is still doing. Okay, I've put your attention on the bigger move. This is the thing I've been trying to promote this entire year. Well, the last mentorship group year, the 2021 group. I'm trying to bring home the idea that I'm going to put you in front of the markets that are going to have the biggest moves. Okay, I warned you about the stock market collapsing. I showed you the levels it was going to be probably reaching for. That's the asset class that was due for a big move, and we're seeing it. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But on the 15-minute time frame, the hourly fair value gap, it trades up into that, breaks lower, small little institutional overflow entry drill here, and then breaks lower here. Just a heavy British pound with some modest lift in dollar, while the euro was just so. Again, it's moving, yes, I'm not arguing that, but it isn't moving like this. This is the E-mini S&P. Okay, so we're looking at intraday. I want you to think about the model I showed on the YouTube channel. Okay, it runs for buy side liquidity here, runs through it. Short-term swing low, broken. Does it create a fair value gap? Yes. Wait for it to trade up into it. Boom. Short it. Now you see a breaker. This is all I want them to focus on. You have many things you can use in here. The butt end of that candle, that's your breaker. 2 chances. Sells off. This is old daily low. I'll let you look that up. And it's pretty obvious to see it. And then we have another one here. It rallies, takes out a short-term high, breaks lower, swing low. Intraday market structure shift, bearish. Does it have a fair value gap? Yes. Trades up into it, sell short. What are you going to aim for? That old daily low. Leave a piece on if you can, and aim for the low on July 19th, 2020. That should say 2021. I apologize. Oh, it makes me really flare. I'm really contemplating doing the entire video over it right now. And I'm going to try to exercise a little bit of flexibility because that was one of my New Year's resolutions. I just got to take it a little bit easier. I'm turning 50 this year, so I want to be a little bit more lighthearted. I think I deserve it, right? I've earned it here. So anyway, that should be your July 19th, 2020. Good grief, where's that mouse? July 19th, 2021, it should say there. I apologize. So that level right there, that's what that is. Okay. So going short here or going short here and adding more here, you could have done something like that. Target here, whips above it, small little fair value gap there, breaks lower, lots of institutional order flow entry drills in here, sells off, then hits the July 19, 2021 low, hits it, runs one more time right below it, then it starts another run higher. This, I think, today was some measure of capitulation. And you can see that here on the daily chart. The thing that I outlined on YouTube as the model that I'm teaching them, it's right in this chart as well. This is the reason why I said that we were going to see lower prices on stocks anyway. If you look at the relative equal highs, ran the buy stops, short-term low, broke. Fair value gap, trades up into it, boom. Okay, well, look over here. Single pass, balanced price range. Don't expect it to completely fill in. Sell off, sell off, sell off, old low. Sell off, old low. Sell off. And then today, everybody over the weekend said, oh man, this thing's going lower. It's a bloodbath. All these problems. Aim for that. And then the old low over here. And it went down just like a point or so below that. Well, it says it right there, doesn't it? Yeah. 42.12. 42.12 and 3/4. So that's how much it went below the old low of 42.15 even here on July 2021. Okay, so is that not the big move? Were we not looking for that? Lower price on stocks? Were we not looking at weakness in equities? What I'm warning us, we're probably going to have some trouble in equities now. And this is the very model. That entry right here. Aim for this, this, and this. Okay? But now you have that understanding, but I'm only taking them to this high, to that low, find 50%. It's going to be this low. Once it hits that, they would be done. They would not see this likely basically on the thing I'm teaching them in the YouTube model. And that's the distinction between you here, all the things. I had a lot of emails from folks that were concerned about what I was teaching ahead of my first lessons in the YouTube mentorship group. They're like, are you going to teach everything in mentorship there? I was like, no, but I'm going to teach things that you're familiar with. But you're going to see there's a huge chasm between what you know here and what you're learning here versus what I'm revealing out there. And I got a lot of feedback, through TradingView, little messages. I can see them, they pop up and they say, hey, look, it's nice to see what you're teaching. It's really generous of you. And it's nowhere near what we get here in this community, in the real mentorship group. And that to me is good. I was hoping that I would have some individuals in there that could really determine the easy distinctions between what I'm teaching out there and what you guys get access to here. But anyway, membership has its privileges. So we are going to close it here because I don't want to do too much talking because I have a lesson for you, like them as well, with the NASDAQ and the E-mini S&P tomorrow on the YouTube channel. So tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, you'll have an index trading and a little bit more understanding about the model and intraday market structure shifts and liquidity. Some of which you already know, but I'm using that as a means of bridging some of the little subtleties that some of the 2021 group members, because they rushed through the content, they missed it. So it'll be a shortcut, right to the point understanding of market structure shifts and the influence of liquidity over all that, using that model. And then I'll bridge the gap between what I teach there on Wednesday in the midweek review. And I'll probably talk about another PD array if I can find a way to squeeze all that in one short little video like you're used to. I know, I'm being facetious. All right, with that, we're going to close it and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Be safe.